Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news and wrestling discussions. I'm, of course, your host, Alexis Carrillo, and let's get into some wrestling talk. Now, if you didn't think that the upcoming Wednesday night wars between AEW and NXT were, being treated as wars or being any kind of reminiscent to the past Monday night wars, well then, think again, because All Elite Wrestling announced today that former WCW lead commentator Tony Schiavone, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry if I butchered it, Tony Schiavone has signed with the company and he will be joining Excalibur and good old Jim Ross in the announce table, in the announce booth for All Elite Wrestling events and for their weekly shows and pay-per-views and all of those such events. Now, that guarantees that you will not only have the lead announcer from WWE's Attitude Era, good old JR, Jim Ross, at the announce booth, but you also have the lead announcer for WCW during the Monday Night Wars in Tony Schiavone. And honestly, I think it's a good move so far to begin with. Simply put, you need experience in this case for the All Elite Wrestling's debut on TNT on October 2nd. You have that with Jim Ross, but Jim Ross's strong suit is definitely calling the play-by-play action, calling the action in that ring, while Tony Schiavone can serve as the principal and perfect piece in the puzzle to introduce new stars to the audience, to introduce guys like MJF and guys like Adam Hangman Page and guys like the Lucha Brothers to the mainstream audience. I think Tony Schiavone can help in bringing the facts, the hard facts about these wrestlers, these performers, while Jim Ross can focus solely on the in-ring action, and of course Excalibur focusing on the color commentating. Now that's not all. Tony Schiavone will also serve as a senior producer for AEW events. As I said, adding experience to the team for a much needed position in the company. Simply put, if you're going to compete with WWE, quote unquote, they're not going to do that yet, but they are going to compete with their third brand, their developmental brand, NXT. And NXT, even though it's younger and it's, like I said, the developmental brand of WWE, it still has the machine behind it. All types of productions, every single aspect of NXT is produced, pre-planned, post-produced, whatever, all in all from WWE. Which is why NXT has been so successful. They have the machine, they have WWE behind it, WWE who has perfected. They have perfected putting on these sports entertainment events like no one else in wrestling history. So with that said, Tony Schiavone, good on that. He's had a few minor work, I believe, in Major League Wrestling. And that could be a lot more work since I think he was a play-by-play announcer on Major League Wrestling or color commentator. He was on the announce booth for MLW. Now he gets to be full-time on for AEW. What do you think? Do you think this is a great move for All Elite Wrestling? Do you think it's a little bit too much of overkill and a little bit too much of nostalgia for the fans having both JR and Tony Schiavone at the commentary table? Or do you think they should have just left it with a two-man booth instead of a three-man booth for AEW's upcoming debut on October 2nd on TNT? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. Till next time.